What's up, YouTube? This is True Grit Boxing News, checking in with another video. During this fight week of Devin the Dream Haney and JoJo Diaz, and also fight week for Gervonta Tank Davis and Isak Pitbull Cruz, there has been a lot of controversy surrounding on whether or not Devin Haney will be able to land the undisputed bout with George Ferocious Kambosos if he's able to win Saturday night, December 4th, against JoJo Diaz. George Ferocious Kambosos, immediately after his win, is on the record saying that he was willing to fight Devin Haney for Undisputed, but that Devin Haney would need to come to Australia. He feels like he's been crossing the pond and putting in a lot of work, and he wants to have a homecoming fight in Australia. And Devin Haney is on the record obliging that, saying that if he's able to get past JoJo Diaz, that he's willing to travel to Australia and have that undisputed bout with George Kambosos. Lou DiBella, who is George Kambosos' promoter, came out today saying that he may be seeking other options for George Kambosos over Devin Haney, mainly trying to secure a fight with Gervonta Tank Davis. Also, if Gervonta is able to come out with the victory Sunday, December 5th against Isak Pitbull Cruz. Now, this is kind of shaking up the boxing world because the WBC also came out and called George Kambosos undisputed. Okay, and he's not recognized as undisputed. He is a unified champion, just like Teofimo Lopez was. But there's been a lot of controversy, which has been started by Mauricio Suleiman, who is the president of the WBC, when he created this franchise WBC belt. Okay, so there is a lot of confusion right now on if George Kambosos is actually undisputed. I believe him not to be. I state and name him as a unified champion, until I see and know otherwise. And also, if the fight between George Ferocious Kambosos and Devin Haney does not come to fruition, that will also be disappointing, in my opinion, to the boxing world, to the boxing fans, because this is a fight that I believe everybody wants to see. After the performance that George was able to put on against Teofimo, I believe everybody would like to see how he would fare against Devin the Dream Haney, and vice versa. How would Devin the Dream Haney be able to fare against George Ferocious Kambosos, and for them to collide and actually put an end to all this talk on whether or not he's undisputed, whether he's not undisputed. We know for sure whoever wins that fight between George Ferocious Kambosos and Devin the Dream Haney will no doubtably be the undisputed champion at 135 pounds at lightweight. So with Lou DiBella coming out saying that he might be possibly looking to fight Tank Davis, just becomes interesting to the boxing world. I mean, we know that this is prize fighting. Let's not forget that this is prize fighting. And I do believe that Tank is the bigger fish. He's probably going to offer the most money. That fight is guaranteed to be pay-per-view, even though I think the Devin Dream Haney fight would also be pay-per-view. But we know 100% that fighting Tank would be a pay-per-view showdown, whether it be in Australia, in Vegas, or anywhere in the US. That is a pay-per-view fight. So I think Lou DiBella might be trying to secure the biggest payday for his fighter that he possibly can, okay? And that's something that we just cannot take away from him. I mean, George Ferocious Kambosos goes in that ring, he puts his life on the line, and he deserves to be paid handsomely for it. Now, I do believe that Devin the Dream Haney's team, DAZN and Eddie Hearn, will put up a sizable check, a sizable prize for George Ferocious Kambosos to get in the ring with Devin the Dream Haney. I do believe that Eddie Hearn is willing to, matter of fact, I think he's actually on the record saying that he's willing to match or outbid Mayweather Promotions when it comes to a Gervonta Tank Davis fight. I think Eddie Hearn really wants to get Devin Haney that fight. He really wants to secure it and get his fighter known as undisputed. Now, in my opinion, of the fight between Devin the Dream Haney and George Ferocious Kambosos, I believe Devin the Dream Haney has all the ability to beat George Kambosos. He's very long, he's very rangy, he's very quick, and he's very fast. But at the same time, George Ferocious Kambosos has came onto the scene, okay? And he has shown that he is also a good elite fighter in his destruction over Teofimo Lopez, being able to take T.O.'s power, outbox him all night, and ultimately put him on the canvas when T.O. was searching and seeking, trying to put him down. So I believe that this is one of the biggest fights in boxing now, especially if Devin the Dream Haney can go out Saturday night, December 4th, and put on a very convincing performance against JoJo Diaz. If he can go in there and stop JoJo, that would really, really, really make this fight even that much bigger. So I'm looking forward to seeing the type of performance that Devin the Dream Haney puts on Saturday, December 4th against JoJo Diaz. And ultimately, I do believe that George Ferocious Kambosos will be at Devin Haney's fight. He said that he will be in the building, and I am once again looking forward to hopefully he get in the ring. They can have some back and forth talks, and hopefully George Ferocious Kambosos stands true to his word and fights Devin the Dream Haney next for all the marbles for the last belt, the WBC prestigious green strap, and become the real undisputed champion if he's able to beat Devin the Dream Haney and vice versa for either fighter. So that's all I got on this matter. Thank you all for tuning in. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, comment down below, and I appreciate y'all for taking the time out with me. This is True Grit Boxing News. Checking out.